Hello, welcome to a commentary channel where anything and everything gets discussed that has to do with life. And the title of this video is The Heavens Blew the Fourth Trumpet. I recently did a video and I predicted that Miss Harris would win. Unfortunately, she did not. But congratulations to President Trump, and condolences to Miss Harris. I think she lost because of Joe Biden, because of in that administration, like everywhere around the world, prices are ridiculous. The cost of living is ridiculous. Everywhere around the world is dissatisfied. Everywhere around the world that's recently had an election, the government that was incumbent has been flipped for a change. And before I go on, I make this statement. This video is my feelings and comments only, my views, and everyone has a right to a view. And all I ask for is please a bit of respect when making a comment, okay? Now, before I also continue, I should also say that I don't live in America, so I don't know what America's like. Having stated that, it really grated on me when I was watching, as the rest of the world was, yesterday, the outcome of the election. A citizen was interviewed, and that citizen said, "I live in the greatest country in the world." Now, yes, America is the biggest, most supreme country at the moment, the most powerful country. And I, living in Australia, am an ally. And that gets a bit under my skin, but let's leave that alone for a moment. Australia needs something, or some country, to stand by her. And I wonder why we use, when we say countries, her. Maybe because Earth is Mother Earth. So just thinking. Anyway, England, we're a Commonwealth country, and also are dedicated, for want of a better word, to England. Anyway, I was talking about the outcome of the election in the US, because just like in the US, we in Australia were very polarized and divided when it came to Democrats or Republicans. I have two BFs, best friends, who were rooting for Trump to get in. And I said to them, "Don't you know that he is a criminal? He's had at least 31 charges against him. And on that note, I want to really talk to you about this. I go out, I commit an offence, a serious offence. What would happen to me? Obviously, I would be in jail or prison. So I've decided, no, I'll go out and commit a serious offence, and next election I'll stand as an independent, and I'll make promises too. Because I am a common person, I do know what the common people want, and I'll make promises to the common people, and I'll get in power, and I'll give myself impunity to my crimes. If you do a crime, you should be sorry for that crime. And I'm going to get on to other things, but anyway, I was telling these best friends who were all the time rooting for Trump about this, and they said, Jem, stop listening to fake news. And I don't. Yesterday, I watched the election. I have not. If it comes on, a political thing comes on Facebook, I'll snooze the person for 30 days. I'm not interested. I haven't watched any documentary. I did watch, having said that, that's not quite true. I watched about a 10-minute, if that, kind of doco on, I'm going to say her name wrong, Kamala Harris, and how she was brought up. She was brought up in a very racist environment. She experienced that firsthand. She graduated from law and she rose very high, state prosecutor and then vice president. And as I said, I think she lost because of Joe Biden. Anyway, before I talk any more about the election and results and everything, there's a very famous female journalist who incites violence, for want of a better word, because of her radical political views, and has been banned from coming in Australia because one of her beliefs, as of many in America, is that we in Australia we're trapped, that we're under some sort of dictatorship. I'll tell you something, and that's because we aren't allowed access to guns. I tell you what, I'd rather live in Australia than I would America. The violence, oh, no thank you. No. I'm not saying like the citizen that Australia is the greatest, because there's a lot of areas we fall very short. But I'm free. Please, if you're a US citizen and you believe that we Australians need to be free, that we're slaves, we're not. We're a free country. We're have a democracy. We can do and say what we're like. We're free. Having said that, we can't do and say exactly what we like. We can't go on an impulsive protesting march, no. But we are free to come and go, and so that's laughable to think that we need to be freed. No, we don't. Now, a lot of us, just like America's divided, are very angry at this outcome of Trump. Though I predicted Miss Harris winning because of a dream, obviously my dream was wrong, I didn't want Trump to win because, as I said in my video about the Antichrist, I told you I'm not a Christian, and even though I'm labeling it this, and then the heavens blew the fourth trumpet, let's have a look at some of what Trump has promised. Trump has promised to stop the war in Ukraine, to pull out of NATO. Let's have a look at Ukraine at the moment. Apparently, Ukraine has been blamed for taking territory, but Ukraine claims that that territory was always theirs, not Russia's. Now, the only way that Trump can appease and stop this war is to say to Ukraine, give back that territory. Do you think Ukraine's going to do that? No. So what happens next is Russia takes Ukraine. NATO pulls out of Poland. Russia takes Poland. Revelation's coming true here. The Middle East erupts because of Israel. Israel takes full-on power because they are not stopped by Trump. We have just witnessed evil. I said that darkness, I said this in videos ages ago, uploaded ages ago, that darkness was coming. And we in Australia are saying, pulling out our hair, going, America, what have you done? But as I said, I'm not in America. I have no right. I don't know what you're going through. But just because the price of gas is high, and just because of something else and something else, you're not going to, Trump's not going to cure homelessness or drug addiction. You'd be a fool to think that. Homelessness and drug addiction, that problem was gone 20 years ago. All you've voted for is a change because Biden, cost of living is the same with Australia. We often vote in Liberal because we say Labor's put us in a lot of debt. And then after many years of being under a Liberal government, we'll vote Labor, completely forgetting that it was Liberal who put us in debt, but we blame Labor for the debt. Look, one is as bad as the other. And I think this is my thoughts. Please no hate, because you have every right to be proud of your country. And I think the average American is very patriotic. And Trump appealed to that patriotism. But America, the rest of the world looked at you because you are the reign, for want of a better word, like in the ancient world where Rome was the all-conquering, all-great nation, so is America. And now what I'm trying to say is that in a way, you who voted for Trump have been selfish because you haven't looked at what impact it has on the rest of the world. Now, Trump has said 60% import tax for China and 10% tax on Australia. We're your allies. Not only that, China is one of our biggest where we export to. We export a lot of iron ore to China. By putting a 6% tax on China, China's economy stalls. China's economy stalls. reverberates, whatever, on Australia, we stall. We stall. It's a mess. I also want to say something very interesting. I had a bet on that Harris would win. Lost my bet. It's only $20. But she was favourite here to win. And while we were watching the election, I call him an authority, someone who's knowledgeable in the stock market, said that the stock market is usually a good predictor of who wins office. And he said if the stock market is high, the incumbent government wins. He said at the moment, stock market in the US is high. Well, Harris didn't win. And apparently it had predicted every other president since. So every rule was broken when Trump got in. Anyway, I'm not going to say sour grapes. It is what it is. And maybe all these negative things might not happen. Maybe Trump will find a nice way that both Ukraine and Russia feel appeased. Remember also on that topic that Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is, from North Korea, recently sent 200 and so thousand of his soldiers to Russia to fight against Ukraine. So let's say the best scenario is that Trump has still said he's pulling out of NATO. Poland is in danger. Let's talk about Poland for a moment. Before World War II, Poland was actually much bigger, larger. Then Germany invaded Poland and World War II. And after World War II, that part that was invaded, when the Allies won, Russia took. So Poland is in a very vulnerable situation. Let's look at past history. Let's look at forgotten Georgia. Georgia was a part of the USSR and wanted to, leave? I can't think of the right word at the moment. Depart. And Russia didn't like that. Russia has lost, when it was USSR, it was a force. So if it could be the USSR again, it would be another power to be reckoned with. But I'm not, as I said, all these scenarios are the worst case. By pissing off the second greatest power, China, I'm not looking forward to a great future. And this isn't fake news, this is all truth. It was in Putin's interest that Trump won. And all the signs were there that Trump was going to win. The failed assassination. And everything. It was all there. There were signs. There were signs. And as I said in my prediction, the Antichrist. Now, as I said, you either love him or you hate him, just as you do in America. We are just as divided. And Australia is in a very precarious situation. Having said all that, I'll reiterate, I am not an American citizen. I don't pay rent there, but just to give you a comparison, where I live on the Sunshine Coast, if you just want to rent a room, just rent a room here. This isn't, so you're renting a room of somebody, right? You're paying nearly 400 Australian dollars a week. The average rent for a 2-bedroom place on the Sunshine Coast is around the $600 mark. Sometimes you'll get it around $500. Brisbane's a bit cheaper, but the Sunshine Coast is shocking. A family home, 4 or 5 bedrooms, easily $1,000 a week. So while you Americans have a whinge at the price of gas, and even here in Australia, petrol is well over the dollar mark. When I was learning to drive, it was 16 cents a litre. But it's time that we move. We shouldn't be even using gas. Tesla had proven and it had plans, and get this, Trump's uncle got those plans, and those plans have disappeared. They're gone. They've vanished. But Tesla had free energy that the whole world could use for about 1,000 years. There's money in oil and coal, and you're upset over the price of gas when we should be looking at clean energy. Clean energy too. That's a mixed bag, because to get clean energy, sometimes we have to remove a tree. One tree, that's 10 people. One tree is equal to 10 people breathing oxygen. Anyway, I'm going to get off my rant and end it with saying congratulations, because, you know, everyone wanted to change. You've got your change. I hope it really works out. And as always, the sun will rise in the morning. It will be another day. And for many of us who live in our little bubble, nothing changes. But there's always consequences. And I really wonder whether, when we go and vote, that we think it through, that we think outside the square. Not only is this going to impact us, but how will it impact the rest of the world? And I'm sorry, America, there is the rest of the world. So while America, according to this citizen, might be the greatest place to live, I wouldn't live there for the life of me. If you paid me $1 million, there's other places, Vanuatu, Bali, Thailand, even Singapore. Singapore has got a very strong government under a woman. It is what it is. But as I said, congratulations. Trump had a really strong party behind him that pushed him, where she was weak, had a weaker party, and I hope she learns the lessons, and I hope that one day there will be an American female president. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment, and again, please be respectful, because I have been. I haven't made any name callings, and as I said, we've all got a right to our own opinion. And why I've entitled this and the fourth trumpet, etc., is because if you are a Christian and I'm not, but I do know my Bible and I do know Revelations, and everything in Revelations is coming true so far. 3 trumpets have already been blown. This is the 4th, if not 5th. Okay, so if you're going to leave a comment, please be kind. And I'm not here to stir trouble. I'm just here to say, for every action, there's a reaction. For every force, there's an opposite and equal force. And I think that what's happened might be good might bring down the price of gas in America, but is bad choice for the rest of the world. Thank you for watching. Very humble. Please be nice and take care. Don't judge each other. Learn to be kind. It costs nothing for kindness. And love, light, and blessings. And enjoy yourselves. And celebrate. Bye.